possession. So we're going to challenge, Brooklyn in that regard tonight. We want to play fast. We believe that's where our advantage is. And then it's just about decision making. At the end of the day, put pressure on the defense, make the right decisions, space correctly, and find open shots. And we've done that in the second half of both the Indy and the Cleveland game.
I know Eric asked you about Cody Martin, but what have you seen in the first two games, especially with you guys having a couple times out of official?
He's had a very good summer. I mean, this kid, we've always liked Cody. We drafted him for a reason. And he's just gotten better every single year. And this summer, he put a ton of work into his game, his body, his shot, his finishing ability. He just makes winning plays. He's a winning player, and he's done that his entire career. He understands his role, doesn't try to do more or less. He brings it every single night. I trust him. I fully trust him. And I know when he comes in off the bench, something good's about to happen, whether it's offensively, defensively, getting to the rim, getting a stop, getting his hand on the basketball. Our defense is just elevated as soon as he comes in the game.
You talked about pace. It's a different field this year now that when LaMelo comes out, you have Ish coming in who likes to play that way too.
Yeah, Ish is instant offense. He's always done this. Playing against him all these years, he's a one-man fast break, and we thought he was a great fit for us that way. That there's no drop off. Sometimes our pace even goes up more when Ish is in the game. Melo might do it more with pass, the kick ahead. Ish does it with his legs and his speed. So for us, again, there's no drop off. Devontae last year was a little more methodical. Obviously, he shot the ball at a higher clip. He was more, ball in his hands, control the offense, shoot it from three. Ish is more downhill, speed, pace, and I think it fits our personnel.
When he takes the ball, like the other night, he would run off makes a couple of times. So, is it an adjustment for you as a coach to kind of be at a place where it's like that is okay or even encouraged?
It's who we are now, make or miss. As I said, we're running the same offense, and if you score, we're coming right back at you. We're not a team that takes it out of the net, walks it up, lets you get your defense set, and let's play again. Most teams, when they go down, they score, they want to get back. And I think you saw it in the Jared Allen clip, right? The whole bench is excited. We got that thing out within 1 or 2 seconds. I think we scored back on them 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That's the mentality, and that's got to stay there. So we want to keep constant pressure on defenses, and we have the personnel to do it.
It's good to see you, by the way. See you too.
Chris.
Yes, the same question about me betting. Do you feel like you have 4 periods of 20 points every night, and how much of a pressure is that as the coach to manage your things that way? Do you feel like you have 4 periods you can get 20 points basically every single night, and how much of a luxury is it as a coach to be able to spread the offense that way?
I think, I believe in this style. I mean, we're not runner, it's not a one-man show here. We have multiple guys that can score 20 plus any given night. I don't want to go through that list, but we just trust that if we make the right decision, the ball's going to find you. And some nights it's a certain guy, some nights it's another guy. And to me, that's just the best way to play basketball. We trust each other. We move the ball. We share it. Wherever the ball ends up with the best shot, that's who I expect, to take it. But it is a luxury to have that teams can't key in on Gordon. They can't key in on LaMelo. They can't key in on Terry. You add Oubre to the mix now. And, it's just a tough cover. I mean, Miles Bridges had 30 points the other night. PJ Washington's a 40-point, capable of scoring 40 points. The depth of this team and the versatility is what gives us a chance to win every night. And that is a luxury for a coach.
There's obviously so much obvious about LaMelo's game that stands out, even if you just watch him once, right? But watching him every day as his coach, what's the thing that strikes you most about him through the first year plus?
I'd say just his consistent spirit. I think that's the best way to put it. He doesn't have a bad day. He comes in with a joy and a spirit every single day to practice. That's tough to do for 82 games. And he's done it consistently, that even coming off a bad game, a tough loss, a bad play, his spirit's the same. It's fearless, it's joyful, and our group rallies around that. We may have a bad half, but the second half, he's coming, with that same spirit and attitude. So that's the biggest thing. His playmaking is elite. His finishing is much better than I expected this early in his career. And then obviously making shots is that's just the cherry on top when he's making shots. So he's a beautiful kid. He's coachable. You know, we're very thankful that we have the young man.
In your TV interview there, you said, you know, when they make shots, we just got to come down and run something and score again. I heard a bunch of coaches say that last year. Is that sort of a nod to you're just not going to get as many stops anymore as used to the way the game is, or is that sort of specific to how many shot makers they have there?
I think part of it is, you know, for me, I can't speak for other coaches. My mentality is move on to the next play quickly. You know, don't wallow in what just happened there. Let's move forward as a team. And that's our mentality. Now, other coaches may have a different philosophy. For me, we want to move on to the next play as quickly as possible. And in general, most defenses struggle when they're not set in general, you know, and that's why transition defense is probably the toughest thing to coach in the NBA. When you're on your heels and there's no matchup and there's not a set defense, it's very difficult in this league. Now you add the spacing, the shooting, the skill right now. You know, for us, we want to go back and play offense quickly. We want to maximize the full 24-second shot clock. And you do that, you know, I don't want to walk the ball up and start our offense at 16 on the clock and, you know, let 6'10" and 6'8" spread their arms out and defend. I want those guys playing in transition. I want those guys on their heels constantly. It doesn't mean we're going to shoot in the first 6 seconds, that we may shoot the ball with 2 seconds to go on the clock. But there's constant pressure on defenses. That's just my philosophy. And again, I can't speak to other teams. And we don't want to just give in to not being a good defensive team. That's not part of this equation. It's just about moving on from play to play. Right into the next play mentality is what we're trying to do here.